You caught me. You have caught me. I am live. I am live streaming. Yeah, so that's it for today's stream, guys. See you later. Thank you. No, I'm joking. So, not too much of a plan for this stream, but I do have a little list of to-dos, and obviously we have the super mega dependency graph we have here, which probably needs updating now, and we really need to hone in what I need to do next. Because even though I have all these things planned out, I've probably not made too much important progress recently. I've certainly made progress, but things like the crew system over here, this is a core game mechanic, and I haven't touched it for a good while. So it would be a good idea to actually get back to that. Probably that might be a bit too much for a stream. Something I would do off stream, but there's a few things I could get through right now, which is these bugs. So that's my current plan for this one, based on some feedback that my friend gave me when he tested the game. And a big one, probably what I'll start with today, is the mining system. So currently you have to be within range to actually mine something, but you can activate the mining beam from any distance, which we don't want, obviously. And once you've finished mining an asteroid, the ship just keeps mining, it just keeps trying to mine. So we're going to try and fix that right now, I think. I'm just going to play through the game very quickly just to get my bearings, make sure nothing's broke, and we'll go from there. Hopefully the stream's fine and the audio is fine. If the music is too loud, give me a shout. If you can't hear any music, you should, so let me know. So recently updated the main menu just to have the volumetric fog. Yeah, just to have the volumetric fog in here like we do in the planetary system scene. I want to update the galaxy generation menu here as well soon. May or may not do that on stream, but for now let's just have a quick run through. And I'll show you what I mean about the mining issues. So, we're right next to an asteroid field, which is good. I also implemented this guidance ring around the player ship, which doesn't look very good right now, but it does tell you where things are. So the space station is in this direction, and the warp gate that we just arrived in is obviously there as well. But let me show you what I mean by the mining issue, which doesn't stop mining. So if I mine this asteroid, this part works fine. Once it has mined, we stop getting the resources, which is good. But the ship just keeps mining. It still thinks the asteroid is there, and it still keeps trying to mine from it. And I can just zoom away from here, and this line renderer will stay here indefinitely. Which is no good, obviously. Now, if I try to mine a different asteroid, it should update. We'll have the same problem, but it should at least move to position, yes. Are we not close enough? No, not quite. So that will add a couple of different things into the inventory, which I've also updated recently. Yes, the crafting system is still on the to-do list. We don't have that yet. but the inventory system is now a bit more like Baldur's Gate 3. So this is my personal inventory, my backpack, and now my ship technically has a different inventory. All ships will have their own, so I can move something into the ship inventory if I wanted. But if I switch ships, for example, that would be left behind in this ship, so be careful not to forget that. You know, if you're switching ships, try not to forget what's in their inventories. You know, ideally you just move this into your personal cache, which needs renaming. But yeah, I think this is much nicer than what it used to be, and you can have quite a few of these windows open, so you can transfer between different ships if you're in range. If you've got some pirate ships nearby that you've just destroyed, you can open their inventories, grab any goodies, pop it in your inventory, and do what you want with them. Sounds more like a vlog than a stream, doesn't it? So yeah, let's try and get this mining issue fixed. So, if I remember where we handle that, that would be a good start. Should be in here somewhere. Get rid of these, don't need those. So, auto mining. Let's just see where the logic is for this. One second. Okay. So, I'm not too keen on this mining logic being in the update function of the ship instance. But it's a case of let's get it working first and then we can tidy up afterwards. So, if we are classed as auto mining and the mining target isn't null, and the mining target is not depleted, is depleted. We turn it off. So this makes sense to me. This logic makes sense. If it's depleted, we stop mining. Otherwise, we mine it. So, it's depleted. I wonder. Let's do a quick debug log here. Just not have that happen, please. Yeah, thanks. Mining target depleted. Success. So what would this do? Toggle auto mine. So we'd remove the mining target. We'd stop mining, but nowhere do we say disable the line renderer and the particle system. Ship utility controller, mine object. Is that where it is? What's it? Utility devices and mine. So it's there. Yeah, that makes sense. Particle system and the line renderer are part of the weapon itself, as it's unique to that. So we start shooting / mining, but I don't think we call stop, which is where we would stop the visual effects. So total auto mine, we might want the ship utility controller. Total auto mine. So maybe we just want this. Stop mining. Mine object. Stop mining. We'll handle this in a moment. Do we care if it's player controlled? Because they will all act the same. Possibly not. Target equals target. Mining target would be null, auto mining would be false, and would tell the ship utility control to stop mining. Don't think we'll need those, and we should be able to just have that out here. Let's comment this out. Enemy ships won't mine anyway, so. Next, we want to do this method. Ship utility control stop mining. We want it to be next to mine object. So let's add it in here. Public void stop mining. They would have two methods named the same, doing the same thing. No. Let's take that suggestion. Reshoot utility devices. If that device is a mining weapon, we stop shooting. Yes. Should I mine object? Mine. Stop. Stop mining. There are two most difficult things in programming: cache invalidation and naming things. I don't know what to name this method. Stop mining. How can I say stop mining in a different way? Please stop mining. Please. I want to call the private method stop mining. We have objects in the public mine object. So stop mining object makes sense. That should stop it. And if we stop shooting, that should stop the visual effects. And while that compiles and we get back to... it was already compiled. While we test that, let me just check the stream audio is fine. Okay, that's good. The audio seems perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Okay, okay. Issues. Issues. Of course. I did rename it. And now that we don't have compile errors, we can actually test it. Right? What's your issue? Is this a Unity bug? Because I've seen it a few times since updating. Addressables. Addressables. Is there... Where are the addressables? They're here somewhere. Asset management. Yeah. Groups. Build, clear, build cache. Sure. Do I? Let's just do the new build. Hopefully that stops showing up. Play. I know I don't live stream often, but I do have a link in the description if you want to tip, aka buy me a brew, buy me a cup of tea. There is a link in the description to do that via Streamlabs, and if you do, it'll pop up on the screen as well, and that'll be there for any future videos or streams. Now, that ship is doesn't come with a mining option. No, it does. This one does. So let's find the nearest asteroid field. What's that over here? I should also have an indicator for the asteroid fields. No? Yes? The nearest one? All of them? So let's mine this asteroid, see what happens. The fact it's floating away might be an issue. Let's see what happens. Let's get closer. Need to increase that range. Okay. Okay. Nothing. So, even though what I have done was needed, it didn't fix the issue. It fixed part 2 of the issue, but now I think we need to go back to part 1, which could be this method, is depleted, because this never shows up. Possibly because the mining target is destroyed. It becomes null, I think. So, it's depleted. This will be checked every time. Will it? Don't know. Let's find out. Close those, we shouldn't need those anymore. I think the issue isn't here. Let's add one more debug. Ooh. What if it becomes null and it just doesn't enter this at all? Wait a bit to find out. Trying to mine target. Just pop the target's name in there. Mining target. Small entity name. Entity name. Let's see what happens. Trying to mine, resources available, comes down, yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah, as I thought. Mining target becomes null as soon as it's destroyed. So it never goes into this to stop mining in the first place. So there's a couple of things we can do here. I can have a more interesting destroy flow for the asteroid. You know, it breaks up into particles and stuff like that. Or, well, I will do that. Which means the asteroid will stay alive long enough to do this check and then stop mining. Or I can do something in the code right now to make it work. No, let's have a bit of fun. Let's make this asteroid explode. Which will give this code time to run in here. So now we know what the issue is. We can just do it. I'll remove that for now. Don't need that there. So yeah, this should work. Now, we need to set that compile. Now, that's bothering me, that. Right. Let's find the asteroid. It should be an entity, mineable object? Mineable entity? Yes, maybe? No? Yes, no? It has an eye damage handler. Okay, so it might be depleted. What happens when it's depleted? It destroys itself. Where? Oh, mine resource. Let me just send a link to my stream to someone. Bear with me. What's that? Okay. Right, anyway. So if resources available is less than that, we kill the asteroid. Killing the asteroid is here. We have a nice handy to do, which we'll do. So we're not going to want to destroy it immediately. Let me just handles damage. Okay. Let's do this. So at some point we'll want to invoke name of destroy asteroids. I don't know why I'm using the word asteroid. It doesn't have to be an asteroid. Yeah, let's make this generic as it should be. Destroy mineable entity. Thank you. Kill. Kill mineable entity. You go there. Mineable entity, let's give it kill time. The time between it programmatically dying and visually dying. Yeah. Should we leave it at 0.1? Maybe 0.2. So how do we want to do it? We want it to sort of immediately be replaced by a copy that breaks up. Although that's polish work really, so let's just keep it 0.1. Let's grab the kill time, let's pop it in here. To spawn the visual effects. Over at game object. Destroy VFX? Sure. Okay, thank you, co-pilot. It's not quite what I had though in mind. To despawn the VFX, just to do that at this transform and at this rotation. I think that's all we need. prefab for the explosion will handle itself. And then we just destroy this after 0.1 second. Oh, yeah, so we need to move this here. It actually destroys it. So let's save that, and then we're going to need to create some visual effects for the asteroid explosion. Does it have to explode? Or just tear apart? We can just chuck something in there for now. It doesn't have to be fancy. So let's go to our asteroid. Asteroid common. We only have one type at the moment. Let's grab it. Mineable entity. Good. It gives us these resources. This is a great use of scriptable objects. You know, I want it to have, every time you mine this, you get a chance of carbon between these values, and then you get a chance of hydrogen between these values. Very good use case. A maximum 1,000 resources available. There's an audio source that doesn't play. I have not heard this play. Never heard it. Let me check that first before we go to thing. So, audio clip. Huh. Okay, so it seems I never actually implemented this, so let's add an audio source, if I could spell it, audio source, and then every time we mine, don't need to set that, so audio source clip equals the audio clip, and then so it should play in here. And let's just add it to the top. Audio source, play. Let's also mess with the pitch a little bit. Let's add that up here. Public. How do I usually do this? Float. Min mine pitch. Sure. Max mine pitch 1.2. Let's just separate this. Mining audio, sound effects, and audio effects. Min mine pitch, max mine pitch, and plate. I think we're good. Let's just make a quick and nasty explosion prefab for the asteroid. Okay, we don't. Let's just assign that here. Audio source. If it lets me. Thank you. So that's good. That should work. Now, visual effects. How do we want to do our visual effect? Let's create a particle system. I already have one that kind of explodes, so I can use that as a base maybe. Yeah. So let me just close these. Game VFX. Just close all these. Okay, VFX. Explosions. Basic explosion. Let's pop that in here. Let's unparent. Unpack. Let's unpack the prefab. And let's mess with this. Obviously we don't actually want a mega explosion like this. We also want a different sound effect. So asteroid explosion. Let's just keep it like that. Reset the transform. Should destroy it for audio to finish. Yes. So this, how I programmed it, you can set it to disable method. Disable. Oh, destroy. It will destroy after 1 second. But if that audio clip plays for 1.5 seconds, it will wait until that audio source finishes at 1.5 seconds and then destroy itself. So whichever, is the longest. No, I don't think we have anything that will do for a asteroid destroying. We need some rocks or something. So I can show you that now. I can show you how I'll do that pretty quickly. So if we go to dev, resources, sounds, free sound. Just going to log in over here. If I remember my password. Wrong password. I'm just going to reset it actually because I have a new password system. Wrong address? What? Excuse me? Oh, I read the message wrong. Come on, password, reset, email, come on. Things to do here. I do have a password manager, but I can guarantee if I show it on stream, all my password would become visible. Oh no, I know what's happened. I don't have an account with my normal email address. I have an account with my company email address. We're in. Password was correct, email was not. So let's have a quick look for some rock sound effects, maybe crumble. I'm just going to turn the music down while we do this. So what I'd want is Creative Commons 0. And usually sort by shortest. So let's see if we get something that sounds like an asteroid crumbling. Let's just try rock. No, 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 no. Isn't there a term for when rock like breaks apart and crumbles? Like, I feel like I'm not searching for the best thing here. What should we say? Rock smash? Rock crumble? I don't know what term could use for this. Oh, that's not bad. I mean, that's the closest we've got. I could use that. No. Not that kind of rock, thank you. Again, too long there. Smash. Rock smash. Concrete smash. What was that? There's a bit of everything on here. I think we'll go with that for now. It won't be the final sound, but it definitely it sounds like what it should sound like. What's this? Memes and screenshots. So right, temp, asteroid, crumble. I just want to use the word crumble. How many times can I say crumble in this stream? Let's put this in the project. Third party. I'll just stick it in audio anyway. We'll just stick it in here. Weapons, explosions. Okay. Stick it in there. Just make sure it's compressed correctly. Small audio clips should be decompressed and load. And I usually go preload and PCM compression format. PCM, and that lowers the imported size. So that if you do this to your audio clips, that will reduce your build size, things like that. You can compress even more, but you have to find that balance between build size, audio clip size, and the quality. So that sounds perfectly fine, and it's a nice, 500 kilobytes. So let's pop it in there. Sound effects, yeah, that's good. I might need to edit the 3D sound settings. But let's leave that as is for now. And let's actually do the visual effects. So, that obviously doesn't look like an asteroid exploding. So now we don't want a shockwave. We can get rid of that. We do want debris. Maybe we have a little flash. Do we want a flash like this? Maybe a bit smaller. Yeah, we can have a small flash in here. Let's get the music back on, shall we? Okay. So we have flash next. The debris one we want to worry about. So I want mesh, and I'm going to use the existing asteroid mesh, which is quite a few vertices, but we can have we can have two different particle effects, one for like the bigger chunks and another one for the smaller chunks of asteroid, and have a model for the small chunks as well. So let's test how this looks. Okay. Good. Not too... It's too many though. So I'll have a burst. Maybe even just two. So it's a random size. Let's turn that speed down. So if we just peek inside. Okay. Yeah. Now random size. Sure, we'll just have it go to a small size. Rotation. Oh, start size is there. Okay, so it's 1, 1. Bring that down to 0.8, maybe 1.2. So a bit of variety there. Issue is the asteroids themselves can scale. They are different sizes, as you saw before. So I'm wondering and hoping the particle system scales up with it or down with it as well. Let's explosion debris. No, I just want the same material, really. I think. Which is that asteroid common one. Asteroid. So yeah, I'll behave like that. Now, let's make it last 3 seconds. So that's not lifetime, 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Cool. Let's not limit the velocity. Okay. The rotation is a bit much. Let's not have too much rotation. Let's go 30. So, yeah. So there's just a little bit of rotation, but not too much. Let's increase that flash again. It's quite hard to see. Oh, let's go down 1. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. Let's have this. Just gonna make this a sub emitter. We'll rename this to debris. Small. Debris. Big. Debris? 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 So let's make these a lot smaller. Let's change the mesh to the small version I have. Ring fragments, so we can have quite a few of these. So a few different meshes. Let's use all three of these, shall we? 1, 2, and 3. Let's have these a bit more wild. So let's go at 180, 180. This should be minus 30 on that side for the big one. And so I've just realised my head is probably in the way for some of these options. So if you couldn't see a minute ago, I've added 3 different types of meshes here. So that should randomise which ones are displayed. All 3 should be displayed, really. Let's emit 64. Okay. Now they're going a bit too far. Maybe a bit too fast for me. Start speed. So let's go 0.5 and 1.5. Lifetime should be the same. Okay, it's not looking too bad. It's not too bad. Maybe this should have a bit of drag. Speed modify, no. So how can I add some drag to these? Should also be in world space. All these should be in world space. Oh, yeah, limit velocity over lifetime. That's how we do it. Let's see. Too much. So 0.1 speed. It's fine. Let's try again. Okay. Might want this for both of them then. Well, 0.1. Limit velocity 0.1. Let's go 0.2. No, let's go 0.5 for these ones. No, 0.5. And for the small ones, 0.2. So they sort of slow down as they get further out. Not that that makes much scientific sense, but it looks better from a video game perspective. I think the small ones should be faster, maybe? It feels like it takes them a while to come out of it. So I'm gonna increase speed. because we added drag, we'll have to increase the speed anyway, I think. So no, that's too much now. Okay, let's go 1.5. Okay. We can fine tune that later, let's test it now actually. So let's add it to the VFX folder. Asteroid explosion, let's delete it from there. Add it to the mineable entity component. Let's get out of there and let's give it a test. Okay. Need to add some buttons to the minimap because I know which buttons to press because I made them, but plus and minus button keys are used for zooming in on the minimap, but I think I want actual buttons on screen next to it as well. So let's see if everything I've done works the first time. Asteroids should destroy and explode, and we should stop automatically mining. The line renderer and the particle effect should stop. There's so many noises around here. It's a very noisy place. It's a noisy street. So let's see what happens. We're mining. We are mining. We're grabbing stuff. Isn't it good when it works? Especially first time. It's great. It is great. Let's do it again. Oops. Oops. Let's not use that. Okay. Mining. I need to increase the range of mining. It also needs to look a bit better, doesn't it? Now the visual effect for the asteroid explosion is 3 seconds long, but the object disabler is 1 second, so I need to go and change that too. So let's go back to my notes. Fix mining. It's done. We have fixed mining. We just need to not forget what I just said I'm going to do. Time to disable is 3 seconds. That's good. Oh, and we didn't check the audio. We should both hear it being mined, and then we should hear it exploding. So let's check that as well. What was the other thing? That will destroy, increase the mining range. That's what I wanted, isn't it? So which would be under ship weapons, utility mining beams. Where's it gonna be? I think this is based on time, not distance, which I don't like. Mining laser range is 10. Let's put it up to 30. The mining bullet. We just have this as distance. how do I handle distance in here? Use distance. Origin point to... Yes. So a distance of... No. What? Disable distance? Oh. Oh, we set it, do we? I don't think that even gets called. No. That's not used as far as I'm aware. So instead, let's make this public. Let's do disabled distance. Oh. Do we use it? Let's check if it's called anywhere. Find all references. Aha, we do. The range. Okay, okay. I take it back. That should work fine. As is. It's a pooled object, so we don't destroy it, we just disable. I'm doing it by the distance, which should be set by the weapon. Here, so it should be 30. It should match this here. So let's check that. Now there might be an issue with the visual effects, because I think they only stretch so far. We'll see. I know the line renderer goes to the target destination, but the particle system doesn't. Might have to use the visual effects graph with a target position parameter to handle that. But that's for another day. See what happens. Was that 3 seconds or not? Doesn't feel like it. Why is that still happening? Come here. One, two. No, that's not 3 seconds. That is not 3 seconds. So asteroids. I'm sure I changed it. You saw me change it, right? 3 seconds. Kill time. Yes. No. What is kill? No, kill time is fine. That's separate to the asteroid explosion. The asteroid explosion is the problem. Time to I think wait for audio source to finish. I think it destroys it after that instead of the time to disable. So let's remove that. Now it should work, and let's test the audio. Let's see if that works. I guess we're not whining that one. Come here. Please ignore that sound. Perfect. Functionally perfect. I'm not saying it's very pretty. Try again. Cool. And yes, that is me saying mine. It's placeholder until I get like a laser beam sound. I don't know. Yeah, I might just remove that actually. We have another one. This is a fan favorite. Yep, that's me saying pew. Pew pew. Did that? Why is it playing twice? Is it playing twice? I don't know. Sounds a bit weird. It sounds like the audio clip is playing twice for some reason. It definitely sounds like it. Let me. So it'd be mineable entity. It's not that one. Which one is it? What? Is it just... Is it named differently? Asteroid? Where are you? Where are you? Asteroid... There you are. No, that's not right. Item rock. No, it's the asteroid explosion. Ooh. Oh, I know what's happening. Because we have that 0.1 second wait between the object disables. You can just about squeeze another bullet in that time. So it calls the kill mineable entity twice. Yes. So where's that gonna be? We can just do a quick check for that. Do damage. Yeah, this one. Ooh, can it happen twice? There as well, I think so. Kill mineable entity. Okay. I'm not sure if this is the best way, but... No, health, if we're dead, if the health is 0, yeah. That makes sense, if it's 0. No. That's not how we want to do it. I'm just trying to think of an optimal way to do this. I think we just need a boolean here to check if it's already been marked as dead. So checking the health alone doesn't do that. You can check this as many times as you want if the health is dead, but because of that, it tries to kill it multiple times and spawns multiple destroy effects when we just want the one. So we're going to add another check here. Variable is dead. If we're already dead, return, don't do anything. Otherwise, spawn the things. mark it as dead, so that should fix that problem. Let's just go in there and test it. So we've fixed mining. Which doesn't sound like much for a 1 hour 15-minute stream, but now we have an explosion. Mining works as expected, so it's still quite a good productive 1 hour 15 minutes actually. I might just do this before I go tonight. Inventory transfer slot placement. That may or may not be easy to do, because most of the logic is already there. But let's just make sure this asteroid doesn't spawn things twice. Please give me a mining ship. Thank you. So. That sounds better. Yeah, that's only spawning one instance. Let's mine this. There's only 2 big rocks, yeah, cool. Let's just get a bit closer to this one. Perfect. And the goal is to combine these two, I think, carbon and hydrogen, to create ship fuel. So that's, you'll always have a way to get fuel in any system you go in, because there'll be asteroids there. Now the inventory system issue I had was, if I move this over here, you'd think it would go in this slot, right? No, it just goes into the first empty slot of this inventory. So I want to change that. Once it's in there, you can move it around. But when you transfer between inventories, I want it to go where your cursor is, not just in the first empty slot. So if I remember where that might be, this is hopefully a quick fix. If not, oh dear. So inventory system, inventory interaction service. So where do I do it? Maybe in the inventory view. Let's get the inventory view. So I'll transfer item. Transfer item will just just add it here. We might want to pass in the inventory slot that we want it to go to. But then the issue is no, it's fine. Yeah, this just adds it naturally. Ooh, this might be tricky then, because it uses the base inventory's add item method. Maybe we add it and then try to move. No. Yeah, this is more complicated than I thought it would be. Do we have anything that could help us here? Move to stack, move to slot. Inventory slots, no, inventory. No, the base inventory shouldn't handle this anyway. No. Inventory view itself. It's right above me. Move item to slot. Ah. This is a Boolean method return. So the inventory view is not nullly added. That assumes we can add it, right? Add the stack. Yeah, I have an issue. If the inventory is full, I don't really think there's anything stopping it from overflowing. It'll just not find the maximum. If the maximum slots, if all the slots are filled in the inventory view, and we tried to add another item, it'll probably just error. But that's tomorrow's problem. That's tomorrow me's problem. Fuck that guy. Transfer item. If we successfully add the item, we then want to move it. There's a few edge cases that could go wrong here, but item UI item. Don't like it. What's AI suggest? No, we really don't want that. Inventory. No. That will add item here. Don't like this. Inventory slot. No. Because that's an item. So it was an item UI item. Yeah, me. Add to stack. Creates it here. Add stack to first empty slot. No, I haven't designed this to really take this into account. As all good programmers say. I wonder how I could hack this fix. How could I hack this together? Um, right, let's see if we can do it from here. Moving between different inventories. This is where the transfer happens. On the inventory slot, when we click the inventory slot. So this is how we move within the same inventory, that's fine. Transfer item. Ooh. Transfer it, move it. Has the answer been here the whole time? Oh, this should be like a... No, if it's not, we do that check. If it's not occupied, it should be safe to move it. Yeah, so let's try that. Let's try this. Let's undo changes in here. Although I might still want this check. No, what? No. Leave that for now. Let's see if this works. One line of code. About 15 minutes for one line of code. Done quite a few changes. What's that? Where's that code I removed? Did I remove it? Definitely did. Where are you? It's fine. What were we testing? Forgotten already. What were we doing? Inventory. That's fine. So let's add a few items. Let's see if this works. It does not. Okay, it still works, but the transfer does not work. Inventory slot, so... Selected item, get inventory view, transfer item. What's this? The SO. This slot as new item. Don't know. False maybe. What happens? It's not even used. See how long it took for Visual Studio to do that then. Strange. Okay, I don't think this is gonna work. So it's transferred. Remove from the current inventory, add it to the next inventory, move that item. Let's see if any of those get called. So let's save this, attach the debugger, and see what happens. Compile error. We don't need that because it wasn't even used anywhere. Save. Can't tell if the stream's dying or not right now. Getting a few warnings. Probably the game eating up all the RAM. Most likely. Yeah, that RAM's pretty full. Okay. Okay, one more test. If this doesn't work, I will just do it off stream. But yeah, good progress on the mining system. I think. I like it. Anyway, don't know about you, but I like it. I'll include the minimap and stuff in my next vlog as well, so it'll be like a devlog part 2 for Space Nomads. I'll probably get working on that at some point soon. Have a few items, let's do this. No, it still doesn't work for some reason. In fact, I need to attach the debugger and see what happens. So if I pick this up, drag it into here, no breakpoints hit. Obviously, inventory sort. So let's just see what's actually happening. This should definitely work over here. Pick it up, drag it. So we transfer this item over to the new, the other inventory. Instance inventory, yes. So it's the correct inventory. Selected item. Battery. Yeah. To this inventory slot. So why do you not do Why do you not do? Okay. The slot is not occupied though, which is weird. The slot. Ooh. Yes, technically it is. I'll move items to slot. No, we can't add an override. It needs to ignore itself, kind of. So this gets added to the inventory. No, that adds it to the first slot, right? Add it to the first slot, that's fine. How is it occupied? Yeah, it's occupied by itself, basically. It shouldn't really be doing that, which is weird. This inventory slot. Ah. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. What if I do something silly? Occupied. Wait, what is occupied? Where is this item? Not even null. Okay. Right. So if we set the item to null in here, oops. Item equals null, then this inventory slot should not be classed as occupied, and then it should move. Okay. Where did you go? There. Okay, now I think it should work. Although I said that the last couple of times. Why are you there? Okay. Let's just get out of this gate. Add a few things. Now, if I transfer, does that set it to null? So when we do this, it should not be occupied. Item is null. Therefore, place item in the inventory slot. And it still doesn't work. Even though the code step through makes sense. Yeah? No? No. So what actually happens here? Place item in the inventory slot. Specifically. What happens in here then? Inventory slot, set item as the power probe we've just moved. Enables it. Resets the selection. That just moves it. How is it not adding it to that slot? It's quite confusing, actually. So what do we do here? We do this. Transfer. Transfer item. What if we add it to this inventory slot inventory dot no. What if we do it in here? Move item to slot. No, because no. It acts like it works. Is the question. Is the weird thing. Inventory slot. Inventory view. Is there a list anywhere? Item guide items in here. So this is the void slicer we've just added. Inventory slot. It doesn't give me like a number. Inventory slots here. Yeah, so it just doesn't move it to the slot for some reason in that inventory view. No, strange one. I might need to dig a little bit more into this outside of the stream. What if I changed here? That. Let's undo that. So yeah, it's not a big issue anyway right now. Let's move. Nope. Off you go. Let's move these over. You can sort by rarity, value, alphabetical, and something else I can't remember. But yeah, there we go. just going to mine another asteroid, and I'm going to leave the stream there. I'm going to call it a night. Yeah. Mine. There we go. So, some good progress then. Okay. I think the game's looking quite good now. Not because of the mining thing, but you know, just generally. This is kind of the vibe I'm going for. I also want to incorporate some sort of neon visuals. It's hard to describe without showing it really, but yeah. I'll probably do a vlog soon, showcasing some of these other things that I haven't spoken about. The mining system, the minimap, this circular guidance ring outside of the player ship. So yeah, I'm going to leave you there. I'll leave you with this view of the sun behind the asteroids. Thank you for anyone that tuned in. I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.